What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Too Much Tech, and in today's video we're going to be checking out the Ducky Feather lightweight mouse. This is, I think, the second or third mouse that Ducky has ever made, and this one I do think is a very good contender as well. I just have a couple of small things that I would like to see changed. That honestly they don't even need to release a new version. They just need software for the mouse so that we can customize a little bit and get, like, you know, perfect DPI, all that stuff. But I understand where they were going with this. Basically, they wanted to make a 1-2 mini equivalent for mice where you don't need software to control anything. And that's probably the nicest part about this mouse, is that all the controls are right on the mouse. So you've got controls for the liftoff distance, controls for the polling rate, and your DPI button switcher here. And then they have like some combinations that you can do by holding the side buttons and the mouse 1 and 2 buttons to swap the RGB effects. Personally, I didn't really care about the RGB effects. I didn't even figure out how to do it, but I'll show the quick start manual on screen right now if you guys want to take a look at everything that it offers and see how you can do it for yourself. But personally, I don't really care about the RGB that much on mice. I hardly ever change it nowadays. I change it in my setup, I leave the mouse alone, I just use it, I plug it in, I play some games, and that's that. Getting back to the Ducky Feather. So what makes this mouse a little bit more unique is that they actually use Huanu blue switches, I believe that's how you say it, Huanu blues, and they are like extremely crispy. Like, I like these switches quite a bit, and it would be nice to see more mouse companies use these switches in their mouse. Like, they're very unique, they're like somewhat high pitched, and they feel like they respond extremely fast too. Drop a quick sound test for you guys right now so you can hear what the Huanu blues sound like in comparison to the switches on the RAZER VIPER, those optical switches. The reason why I picked those two mice is because the shape is very similar, so I feel like that probably is going to be a reason why this is on your list to take a look at. So looking at the shape of the Ducky Feather, basically it's very, very, very similar to the shape of the RAZER VIPER, which I believe is very similar to the shape of like a Zowie FK2, I believe. But I haven't tried an FK2 personally because I would like them to make some updates that other mouse companies are kind of doing right now. But key differences between this and the RAZER VIPER models is that this is a fully ambi mouse, which on the VIPER Mini that I have at hand, it's not fully ambi because they only have the side buttons on the left side. But the other VIPER models obviously have the side buttons on both sides. This one does have a little bit of unique design, as typically RAZER would have like a rubberized grip right here, but this feels to me just like plastic. So I think they just molded the plastic to look like this to provide some extra grip. But personally, I feel like these add just a little bit of areas for like sweat to kind of collect and whatnot, because like if you move your fingers a little bit, I feel like some sweat builds up right here. Not necessarily on the mouse, but on your fingertips. So it makes it slightly not as nice as if it was just a flat matte coating, but that's just a personal preference of mine. One thing that I will say is much better than the RAZER VIPER, all of them really, is that the side buttons poke out quite a bit. That's what I like about this one, because the side buttons are extremely easy to hit compared to the VIPER. On the VIPER Mini, it's not so bad. Like, they're still kind of recessed, and I think it's because the shape of the mouse of these are easier to reach. But I know that on the VIPER Ultimate and on the original VIPER, I have heard that people say that those side buttons are a little bit harder to hit because they're slightly recessed into the mouse, where this is the complete opposite. They're actually poking out quite a bit, and I think they're appropriately sized as well. They're slightly wider than the mouse side buttons on the VIPER series, so I like that too. I do kind of find it weird how they did like this hybrid design where they didn't have holes here, didn't have holes at, you know, the top of the mouse at all, but they put them on the sides a little bit. It looks weird, but honestly, you know, in practice, I don't really mind it at all. I never find myself, you know, feeling the holes in gameplay. And obviously right here, this area where you're gonna grip with your thumb anyways, there's no holes there. So you really won't have a problem. If you don't like holes in your mouse, I wouldn't let that stop you from getting this mouse. But something that I potentially would let stop me from getting this mouse is this paracord. So like, it's not really the best. It's pretty stiff. This is a paracord that's pretty similar to one that comes on the VIPER Mini in my opinion. The VIPER Mini, the Death Adder V2 Mini, those paracords are pretty garbage. This one I will put in the exact same category because it's just really, really stiff. If you grab it and get close to it anyway, like the only way really to play with this mouse is to either tape it in your desk if you don't have a bungee, or put it in a bungee, because this paracord, don't get me wrong, it looks nice, the weave looks nice, but the wires inside are just not very flexible. Now in terms of the weight, let's see what we get. So we're weighing right in at about 68.7 grams. So we'll call it 69 grams. Fairly lightweight mouse. Personally, I think that this is gonna be good if you have medium-sized hands. I don't think that the weight is gonna bother you that much, and it's gonna weigh in very similar to what the VIPER would weigh in. This, I think, is a really good attempt from Ducky. I think that this is a pretty solid mouse. And as a value add, even though they included like the smaller, what is it, the Microsoft IntelliMouse style mouse feet, they also gave you an extra set and a bigger set of mouse feet in the box as well to fill out the rest of the area that they obviously have cut out for the bigger size mouse feet. So overall, I like using the Ducky Feather a lot. I play really well with it. It feels like maybe a less optical version of the VIPER, if that makes sense. If RAZER was to make a VIPER without optical switches, this would be it. I think that the build quality of the Ducky feels just a little bit more solid, and I like the fact that they do really encourage the use of these onboard controls. But it would just be nice if Ducky was to release an extremely lightweight software to really just customize your DPI, maybe set macros if that's what you like to do on your mouse, and control the RGB effects. Those three things, I think that's pretty much all we need. Everything else is built into the mouse, the lift-off distance and the polling rate and whatnot, and we'd be good. That's really all I want. But if you guys are interested in purchasing this mouse, you should probably do so sooner than later, because I bought this mouse, I think it was in either August or September when I pre-ordered, and it was supposed to ship in October, and I didn't get it until up in, I don't know, a week and a half ago in December. So yeah, use my creator code TooMuchTech on mechanicalkeyboards.com to support the channel, and just be patient, because I definitely was. I was like, is this gonna come? mechanicalkeyboards.com? I really hope so. So just be patient. I know that right now a lot of people are ordering stuff and getting into the custom keyboard hobby as well as mice. I'm pretty sure that, you know, Ducky's first attempt at making a gaming mouse was pretty big for a lot of people, and I'm sure they had a ton of pre-orders and they're just trying to fulfill all the orders. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are new, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Oh, feel free to join the Discord too. But thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.